Hey everyone, tonight we begin with a quiet voyage into the universe's stellar nurseries. Imagine vast, ethereal clouds, swirling tapestries of gas and dust. You're gently drifting through these cosmic cradles, where brand new stars are just beginning to ignite. Their nascent light softly illuminates the cosmic dust, painting it in hues of rose and sapphire. A silent, majestic ballet light years away, yet we visit in our minds. Take a moment to like the video and subscribe if these calm explorations help you rest, and let me know where you're listening from. You can dim your lights now, perhaps letting a soft glow remain. Maybe you start a gentle hum of white noise, a comforting cosmic static. Now let's ease into tonight's journey together. You drift. A gentle current, unseen, unheard, carries you through the velvet black. Stars glitter around you, sharp and brilliant. They are like tiny, distant campfires in an infinite night. The silence is vast, a presence in itself. It hums with a quiet energy, the baseline of the cosmos. You feel small, yet part of something immense. There is no up, no down, only the endless expanse, and you suspended within it. For a long while, this is all there is. The pinprick stars, the profound darkness, a sense of waiting, perhaps. Or maybe it's just the universe breathing, slowly, deeply. You adjust to the quiet, to the scale. The earth, with all its noise and hurry, feels like a dream from another lifetime. Here, time itself seems to stretch, becoming thin and elastic. Then, you notice something. A change in the darkness. Far off. A subtle softening of the void. Is it a trick of your eyes? A smudge on the lens of space? You focus, letting your gaze rest on that particular patch of nothingness that isn't quite nothing. It's incredibly faint. So faint, you might have missed it if you weren't looking with such patient attention. It's not a star. It lacks that hard, definite point of light. This is softer, broader, like a breath exhaled on a cold night. It hangs there, a whisper of light against the utter black. This, you begin to sense, is something different, something ancient and slow. It doesn't blaze, it merely is. As you drift, or as it drifts, the distance lessens. Though time here is a peculiar thing, what seems like an instant could be an age. The faintness resolves, just a little. It takes on a ghostly form, a delicate stain on the fabric of space. You realize you are approaching one of the universe's gentle giants. This is a nebula, a cloud, but not like any cloud you've known. This cloud is woven from the thinnest stuff imaginable. It stretches for light years. Imagine a beam of light, the fastest thing there is, racing for year after year. It would still be journeying across this single, serene structure. Your mind struggles to grasp such a scale. It's like trying to hold the ocean in a teacup. You can't. You can only marvel at its existence. It doesn't have sharp edges. It bleeds into the surrounding space. Parts of it are almost transparent, letting starlight from behind filter through. Other areas are a little denser, a little more opaque, hinting at hidden depths. You see no sudden movements, no turmoil, just a slow, majestic presence. It seems to be holding its breath, or perhaps it is the breath of the cosmos. These are the whispers from the cosmic clouds. They don't shout their presence. They don't demand attention. They simply drift, ethereal and vast, through the interstellar void. The space between stars isn't truly empty, you see. It's filled with these colossal gossamer veils. They are the quiet nurseries, the ancient resting places, the raw material of creation. You feel a profound sense of peace wash over you. The universe, in its grandest designs, is often surprisingly gentle. This cloud, for all its unimaginable size, feels delicate, fragile even, as if a harsh thought could tear it asunder. But it has endured for eons, a silent monument in the deep. What are these cosmic clouds made of? You peer closer, your senses attune to the subtle clues. The primary ingredient is gas. Lots and lots of gas. Mostly, it's hydrogen, the simplest element, the most abundant stuff in the entire universe. The universe, it seems, has a favorite building block, and it uses it generously. Think of it as the universe's flour, ready to be baked into cosmic bread. This hydrogen isn't usually visible on its own, not in the cold emptiness of deep space. It's just there, an invisible ocean. But within these nebulae, it gathers. It forms unimaginably diffuse collections. If you could somehow scoop up a vast section of this cloud, an armful spanning miles, you'd find less material than in a single breath of air on Earth. It's that spread out, more rarefied than the best vacuum scientists can create in their labs. Yet, there's so much of it, spread over such colossal distances that it becomes something. A presence. A structure. It's a bit like fog. A single droplet of water is tiny, almost nothing. But gather enough of them, and you get a dense bank of fog that can swallow landscapes. These nebulae are cosmic fog banks, but on a scale that dwarfs planets, even stars. The hydrogen atoms drift, sometimes alone, sometimes paired up. They are ancient, many of them formed in the very first moments after the universe began. They have witnessed cosmic history unfold. They are the quiet keepers of secrets. If they could speak, what stories would they tell? Perhaps they do, in their own way. These faint glows, these subtle shifts in density, might be their language, the whispers you sense. And it's not just hydrogen, there's helium too, the universe's second favorite ingredient. Lighter than air, as they say, though here there's no air to compare it to. Just the near-perfect vacuum, and these atoms bobbing within it. Traces of other elements are sprinkled in, like spices in a grand cosmic recipe. Oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, elements forged in the hearts of long-dead stars, now scattered and recycled, waiting to become part of something new. But gas isn't the only thing. There's also dust. Yes, dust. Even out here, in the pristine blackness between stars. Space, it turns out, isn't as tidy as some might prefer. It leaves its dust bunnies everywhere, and some of them are truly enormous. These aren't like the dust motes you see dancing in a sunbeam in your home. Those are giants by comparison. Cosmic dust grains are incredibly tiny, microscopic specks. Tinier than a particle of smoke from a campfire. Tinier than the finest grain of sand on the most exotic beach. These dust particles are made of heavier stuff, silicates, like tiny bits of rock, carbon, sometimes in the form of graphite, like the tip of a pencil, or more complex organic molecules. These grains are the ashes of old stars, the remnants of stellar explosions, or material gently puffed away from aging suns. They've traveled far, these little specks, carried on the slow currents of interstellar space. They are few and far between, even more so than the gas atoms. You could drift through this cloud for a lifetime and perhaps only encounter a handful of these dust grains directly. But there are so many of them, spread across such vast regions, that they too make their presence known. They are the smoke in these cosmic clouds. Sometimes, this dust obscures the light from stars behind the nebula, creating dark lanes and patches. It's like looking at a bright light through a smoky glass. The dust absorbs the starlight, or scatters it. This is why some parts of the nebula might appear darker, more solid, even though they are still incredibly tenuous. These dark regions are not empty, they are just veiled. Other times, if there's a bright star nearby, the dust can reflect its light. Imagine sunlight catching a cloud of chalk dust. The dust itself doesn't glow, but it scatters the light, making the cloud visible. Some nebulae shine this way, with a soft bluish hue, the preferential scattering of blue light by tiny particles. It's the same reason your sky is blue on a clear day, but on a much grander, more ethereal scale. So, you have this immense, Delicate structure. Composed mainly of hydrogen gas, the universe's simplest breath, seasoned with a little helium and a pinch of heavier elements, and threaded through with the finest, most minuscule grains of cosmic dust, all of it drifting. The serenity is breathtaking. There's no wind here, not in the way you understand it. No sudden gusts, but there are currents. Vast, slow-moving flows of gas and dust, responding to the gentle but persistent tug of gravity from distant stars, from the galaxy itself. The nebula breathes, expands, contracts, swirls, but on timescales that make human history seem like the blink of an eye. If you could watch it for 1,000,000 years, you might see the true dance. For now, you feel only its immense, quiet presence. This presence, this stellar breath, has a substance. It's not empty space, not truly. You are drifting through the very stuff of creation. Stardust and stellar breath. Imagine the lightest smoke you've ever seen. Lighter than a whisper, lighter than a thought. This nebula is made of something even more delicate. It's a cosmic mist, unfathomably vast, incredibly thin. You could fly through it for years. You might barely notice the change. Yet, it is here, all around you. The main ingredient is hydrogen, the universe's simplest atom. Just one tiny proton, one even tinier electron. It's the original element, born in the Big Bang's first fiery moments. There's more hydrogen here than anything else, vastly more. It fills these spaces like an invisible ocean, an ocean of potential. Sometimes, this hydrogen glows. When a nearby hot young star energizes it, the gas absorbs the fierce light, then re-emits it, but softer, often as a deep, warm red. The famous hydrogen alpha light. It paints swathes of the nebula, like a celestial artist's brushstroke. This red glow is hydrogen announcing its presence, a gentle shout across the void. You see these crimson clouds. They drift like ethereal veils. Sometimes they are sharp-edged. Sometimes they fade into blackness. This is hydrogen, excited and vibrant. It's the fuel for future suns, billions upon billions of them, held here in this colossal, gentle cloud, waiting for gravity's slow, patient call. It's not hot, this glowing hydrogen. Not in the way you'd expect. The gas is too thin. The particles are too far apart. They carry energy, yes, but they wouldn't warm your skin. It's a cold fire, in a way. A visual spectacle. A promise of warmth to come, eons from now. Think of it. This fundamental gas, the stuff of stars, of water, of life. Here it is, in its raw, most abundant form, spread out across light years, waiting. It's a quiet thought, a humbling one. You are surrounded by the universe's primary building block, in its most ghostly, beautiful state. Then there's helium, hydrogen's slightly more complex cousin, the universe's second favorite element, also born in the Big Bang. It's shyer than hydrogen. It doesn't glow quite as readily, or in such obvious colors. But it's here, a significant part of the mix, about a quarter of the nebula's gaseous mass. Helium atoms are a little heavier, 2 protons, 2 neutrons, 2 electrons. Still incredibly light, still part of this cosmic mist. It mingles silently with the hydrogen, an unseen but essential partner. It adds its own tiny weight, its own subtle influence on the nebula's currents. You can't easily point and say, there's the helium. Not like the glowing red hydrogen. But scientists know it's there. They detect its signature in other ways, using instruments that see beyond visible light. It's a quiet contributor, the strong, silent type of the elemental world, perhaps a little modest. Together, hydrogen and helium make up almost all the gas, over 99% of it. They are the nebula's breath, the stellar exhalation that fills these voids, so incredibly diffuse. If you scooped up a stadium-sized piece of this nebula, you might only find a few handfuls of atoms. That's how thin it is. This extreme sparseness is hard to grasp. Your mind tries to compare it to fog on Earth, to mist over a lake, but those are dense, crowded affairs by comparison. This is something else entirely. A vacuum, almost, yet not quite. A vacuum seasoned with the lightest elements, spread over unimaginable distances. The light from distant stars filters through it, sometimes unchanged, sometimes subtly altered. This gas is mostly transparent, yet, where it's thicker, it can dim the stars behind, like looking through a very, very faint gauze, a veil woven from the universe's first exhalations. This is the mist of the nebula, the primary substance. But there's something else here too, something vital, something that adds texture and complexity, tiny grains of dust. The stardust in this stellar breath. These aren't like household dust bunnies. No cobwebs here. This dust is far finer. Microscopic particles, smaller than the particles in smoke, tinier than ground flour. Each grain is a collection of just a few thousand, or perhaps a few million, atoms. Little specks of solid matter, floating in the immense sea of gas. Where does this dust come from? It's old, recycled material, forged in the hearts of long-dead stars, stars that lived their lives, fused hydrogen to helium, then helium to carbon, to oxygen, to silicon, to iron, all the heavier elements. Then, in their final moments, these stars shed their outer layers, or sometimes they exploded spectacularly. Supernovae. These stellar deaths cast their enriched contents out into space, a final, generous gift to the cosmos. These heavier elements cool, they condense, they form tiny, solid grains. Carbon grains, like microscopic soot. Silicate grains, like infinitesimal specks of sand or rock, sometimes coated with ice. Water ice, methane ice, ammonia ice, frozen gases clinging to the tiny cores. So, this dust is truly stardust, the ashes of ancient suns, sprinkled throughout the nebula. It seems like a tiny fraction, perhaps only 1% of the nebula's total mass, a mere seasoning in the vast soup of hydrogen and helium, but its impact is enormous. You see its effects everywhere. Look at those dark lanes, those stark silhouettes against glowing backdrops. That's the dust. Dense clouds of these tiny grains, absorbing and scattering the light from behind. Creating cosmic shadows, they are not holes in the nebula, they are its densest, dustiest parts, opaque curtains drawn across the stars. Sometimes, the dust does the opposite. It reflects light. If there's a bright star nearby, but not hot enough to ionize the gas, its light bounces off the dust grains, preferentially scattering blue light. Just like Earth's atmosphere makes the sky blue, this creates a reflection nebula, a ghostly blue glow, ethereal and cool, the dust acting like a cosmic mirror, showing off the starlight in a different hue. These dust grains are cold, very cold, far from any warming star. They radiate away what little heat they absorb, mostly as infrared light, invisible to your eyes, but detectable. This faint heat signature tells astronomers about the dust's temperature, its distribution, its composition. The dust is more than just a light blocker or reflector. It's a crucial catalyst, a meeting place in the cold, empty spaces between stars. Individual atoms of hydrogen are usually just that, individual. They rarely meet to form molecules. But the surface of a dust grain changes things. A hydrogen atom might drift by, stick to the cold surface of a grain. Another hydrogen atom does the same. On the grain's surface, they are held close. They can find each other. They can bond. Forming a hydrogen molecule, H2, two atoms linked together. This molecular hydrogen is even better fuel for star formation. The dust grains are like tiny matchmakers, cosmic catalysts. helping simple atoms combine into something new. Other molecules form this way too. Water, H2O, carbon monoxide, CO, ammonia, NH3. Simple organic molecules, the very beginnings of chemistry. All assembled on these tiny, unassuming dust grains. These grains are miniature laboratories, floating through the void, patiently building complexity. And this is where the story gets truly exciting. These tiny grains of stardust, these microscopic specks of carbon and silicate. They are the building blocks of future worlds. Your world. Every solid thing you've ever touched. It was once dust like this, floating in a nebula millions or billions of years ago. Think about it. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the carbon that forms your very being, all forged in stars, dispersed as dust, gathered in a nebula. Then, slowly, painstakingly, brought together to form planets, to form life. You are looking at the raw materials, the cosmic hardware store, shelves stocked with hydrogen, helium, and stardust. Everything needed for new solar systems, new planets, perhaps new life. It's all here, suspended in this delicate, beautiful balance. The process is incredibly slow, almost imperceptibly so. Within the denser, dustier regions of the nebula, gravity begins to pull these grains together. Ever so gently, they start to stick. Electrostatic forces might help. Little clumps form fluffy aggregates, like cosmic snowflakes, but made of rock and soot. These clumps grow, colliding softly, merging, becoming larger, pebble-sized, then boulder-sized, then kilometer-wide planetesimals, tiny protoplanets. All from those initial microscopic dust grains. It's a patient accumulation, a cosmic snowball effect, happening over millions of years. This is the stellar breath becoming solid, the diffuse mist condensing into substance. The nebula isn't just a pretty picture, it's a nursery, a place of birth, not just for stars, but for the planets that will orbit. And as those planets begin their long, slow dance around their new suns, what of the leftover stardust? What of the vast, shimmering clouds that didn't quite make it into a star or a world? You drift now, away from the dense nurseries of rock and ice, back into the open expanse of the nebula. But something is different here. The mist is no longer just a silhouette against distant starlight. It glows. Glowing gardens of gas. Emission nebulae. You are entering a celestial garden, a place painted with light itself. These are emission nebulae. They don't just reflect light, like a cosmic mirror. They create their own. The gas itself is shining, fluorescing with soft, vibrant colors. It's a breathtaking spectacle. Imagine the most delicate watercolor painting sprawling across light years. Hues of ruby red, emerald green, and sapphire blue bleed into one another. All this painted on the black canvas of space. What powers this incredible light show? Look towards the brightest points within the nebula. You'll find them, young stars. Not just any young stars, but the cosmic equivalents of rock stars. Massive, brilliant, and brimming with youthful energy. These are often giants, many times the mass of our own sun. They burn incredibly hot and incredibly bright, and they pour out truly prodigious amounts of energy, especially ultraviolet light. That's the secret ingredient here. This ultraviolet light, invisible to your naked eye but immensely powerful, floods into the surrounding gas clouds. Gas is mostly hydrogen, the universe's most common element, with a little helium and traces of heavier elements like oxygen and sulfur. These atoms are, by their nature, usually quite calm. Their tiny electrons orbit their central nuclei in neat, predictable paths. But the young star's fierce ultraviolet radiation changes everything. It's like a sudden, intense energy blast. When this high-energy light strikes an atom, it can knock an electron right out of its orbit. The electron is ejected. The atom, now missing an electron, becomes ionized. It has a positive electrical charge. It's a bit like the atom has been given a strong cup of coffee and is now buzzing with unexpected energy. The nebula is now a sea of these energized, ionized atoms and free-floating electrons. But this state of excitement doesn't last forever. The universe, in its grand way, seeks balance. Those liberated electrons, zipping around, are eventually recaptured by other ionized atoms. An electron finds an atom missing one of its own. It's drawn in, it settles back down. And here's the magic. As the electron rejoins an atom and cascades down through the available energy levels, like descending a staircase, it releases that excess energy. It releases it in the form of light. A tiny packet of light called a photon. Each type of atom and each specific energy jump an electron makes releases a photon of a very particular color, a very specific wavelength. Think of it like this. The star provides the power. The atoms in the gas cloud are the light bulbs. The ultraviolet radiation switches them on. And they don't just glow with a generic white light. They glow with the specific colors dictated by their atomic structure. It's a cosmic fingerprint. The most common color you see, that dominant, warm, rosy glow, is hydrogen. Specifically, it's called hydrogen alpha light. This beautiful crimson hue is produced when an electron rejoins a hydrogen atom and makes a particular jump from the third energy level down to the second. Since hydrogen is the most abundant gas, this red light often defines the nebula's overall color. It's the nebula blushing under the intense gaze of its stellar offspring. But look closer. You'll see other colors woven into this cosmic tapestry. Swirls of ethereal green, sometimes a ghostly blue-green. This is often the signature of oxygen. Specifically, doubly ionized oxygen, meaning two of its electrons have been excited away by even more energetic ultraviolet light. This tells you that the region where you see green is likely closer to a very hot star, or the star itself is exceptionally powerful. The conditions there are more intense. It takes more of a jolt to make oxygen sing its green song. Then, in other areas, perhaps a little further from the brightest stars, or in denser clumps, you might see deep reds. Richer, more wine-like than the hydrogen's blush. This is often sulfur. Singly ionized sulfur, needing a bit less energy to light up than the oxygen. These different colors aren't just pretty, they are clues. They tell astronomers about the temperature, density, and chemical composition of the nebula. It's like reading a celestial weather map, painted in light. You are floating through a watercolor dream. The light is soft, diffuse. There are no harsh edges here. The colors blend and merge with an impossible grace. Wisps of ruby curl around tendrils of emerald. Patches of deep sapphire might hint at other elements, other processes. It's a dynamic, ever-shifting display. The nebula isn't static. It's alive with energy. The shapes within these glowing gardens are sculpted by the very stars that illuminate them. Those young, boisterous stars don't just radiate light. They also emit powerful stellar winds. Streams of charged particles flow outwards from them at incredible speeds. This wind, along with the sheer pressure of the light itself, pushes against the gas and dust. It carves out cavities. It creates bubbles. You might see vast, hollowed-out regions around a cluster of hot stars. The gas there has been blown away, creating a luminous shell. Elsewhere, you might encounter dense pillars of gas and dust. These are famous structures, like the Pillars of Creation in the Eagle Nebula. They are denser regions that have resisted the erosive force of the stellar winds and radiation. The surfaces of these pillars are illuminated, glowing brightly, but their shadowy forms point back towards the energetic stars responsible for shaping them. It's a constant battle between the destructive power of the stars and the resilience of the gas. Sometimes, the gas and dust are so thick that they block the light from behind. This creates dark lanes, sooty fingers stretching across the vibrant colors. These aren't empty spaces. They are simply regions where the dust is too opaque for the light from the emission nebula to shine through. Or they might be obscuring even more distant stars. These dark patches add depth and contrast to the scene. You adjust your course. A new destination glows faintly ahead. It's a familiar beacon in Earth's night sky, a fuzzy patch in the sword of a celestial hunter. But up close, it promises to be something else entirely. This is the Orion Nebula, a celestial masterpiece. The journey has been long. Over 1,300 light-years spool out behind you. That's a vast distance, almost unimaginable. Light itself takes that many years to cross the gap. Yet, here you are, approaching this famous stellar nursery. Anticipation hums, a quiet counterpoint to your vessel's engines. The first hints are subtle. The black of space seems a little less absolute. A faint diffuse blush appears, like watered-down wine spilled across velvet. It grows, slowly, steadily. You're still far out, but the nebula's sheer scale begins to assert itself. This isn't a tiny, distant jewel. It's a sprawling cosmic continent of gas and dust. Closer now, the blush intensifies, resolving into distinct colors. Soft pinks and deep reds dominate the outer wisps. These are the telltale signs of hydrogen gas. It's the most common element in the universe, and here it's being energized, made to glow by unseen forces within. You navigate gently through these ethereal outskirts. The gas is incredibly thin, far more tenuous than any vacuum achievable on Earth. Yet, there's so much of it, stretching for dozens of light years. A sense of entering a sacred space settles over you. It's quiet, profoundly so, but it's a silence pregnant with creation. You're drifting into a place where stars are born. Millions of them, over millions of years. Some are ancient history now, long since drifted away. Others are just beginning to ignite. The colors deepen. Blues and violets join the palette. This isn't just glowing gas anymore. This is starlight, brilliant and fierce, reflecting off countless tiny dust grains. These grains are like cosmic soot, the leftovers from older stars, now providing raw material for new ones. They scatter blue light more effectively, just like Earth's atmosphere does with sunlight. So, where you see blue, you're seeing starlight on its travels. The nebula isn't a smooth, uniform cloud. Far from it. It's a riot of texture. Vast caverns have been carved out. Towering pillars of denser gas stand defiant against an invisible onslaught. Delicate, lacy filaments trace intricate patterns. It's a dynamic, ever-changing environment. You feel like an explorer charting an unknown, luminous land. You drift towards the brightest region, a brilliant knot of light near the nebula's heart. This is where the action truly is. The source of much of this illumination becomes clear. A tight cluster of young, ferociously hot stars blazes forth. Astronomers call them the trapezium, named for the shape the four brightest members form. Though, in reality, there are many more stars packed into this small area. These are stellar infants, cosmically speaking. Only a few million years old. But they are energetic infants. They blast out tremendous amounts of ultraviolet radiation and powerful stellar winds, streams of charged particles. It's this energy that lights up the surrounding gas, making it fluoresce like a giant neon sign. It's also this energy that sculpts the nebula, carving those impressive cavities and shaping the pillars. You can almost feel the pressure of their light, a gentle, pervasive force. Imagine a cosmic battlefield, but one where creation, not destruction, is the ultimate victor. The young stars are like generals, their radiation and winds pushing back the surrounding gas and dust. Where the gas is denser, it resists, forming those spectacular pillars and ridges. These structures are temporary, on a cosmic timescale. Eventually, the stars will win, eroding them away. But for now, They are breathtaking monuments. You steer closer to one such pillar. It looms, immense and shadowy, silhouetted against the brighter background. Its edges are illuminated, glowing fiercely where the stellar radiation hits it. It's a cosmic cliff face, light years high. Within its murky depths, even younger stars are forming, hidden from direct view. They are cocoons, gestating until they too burst forth. The sheer amount of material is astounding. This entire cloud contains enough gas and dust to form tens of thousands of stars like your own sun. It's a factory, but one of unimaginable beauty and grace. There's a certain untidiness to it all, a chaotic splendor. Nature, it seems, doesn't always clean up after itself when it's busy with creation. And why should it, when the mess is this beautiful? You spot smaller, intriguing objects, tiny, tadpole-like shapes, each with a faint star at its head and a tail pointing away from the trapezium. These are protoplanetary disks, or proplyds. Each one is a nascent solar system, a young star still swaddled in the disk of gas and dust from which it formed. And within those disks, planets are beginning to coalesce. You're witnessing the very first steps of planet formation, repeated hundreds of times within this one small patch of sky. It's a humbling sight. To think your own solar system likely began in a similar fashion billions of years ago, in a place much like this. The colors here are even more intense. The reds of ionized hydrogen are almost fiery. The blues of reflected starlight are sapphire bright. Sometimes you see hints of green from glowing oxygen, though it's often fainter. It's like drifting through a painter's palette where the pigments are light itself. There's a sense of warmth, though you know space is frigid. It's the warmth of intense light, the warmth of new life. The young stars in the trapezium are incredibly hot, tens of thousands of degrees on their surfaces. Their light carries that energy outwards. You notice the intricate dance of gas flows. Some areas are clearly being compressed, squeezed by shock waves. These shock waves can be triggered by the stellar winds hitting slower-moving gas, or even by supernova explosions from massive stars that lived fast and died young within the nebula long ago. These compressions can, in turn, trigger new bursts of star formation. It's a self-perpetuating cycle of birth, life, and renewal. The nebula isn't silent in other ways either. Though you can't hear it in the vacuum, it hums with radio waves. It pulses with infrared light, the glow of warm dust and forming stars. If you had the right sensors, you could map these hidden dimensions. But even visually, it's overwhelming. You take a moment to just float, to absorb the grandeur. Around you, stars are igniting. Planets are forming. The raw materials of the cosmos are being shaped into new suns and new worlds. It's a process that has been going on for billions of years, across countless galaxies. But to see it happening right here, right now, is a profound experience. Think of the journey of a single hydrogen atom. It might have been forged in the Big Bang. It drifted through intergalactic space for eons. Eventually, it was drawn into this giant molecular cloud. It swirled and eddied, part of the slow gravitational collapse. Now, it might be part of a glowing filament, energized by a nearby star. Or perhaps it's deep inside a protostar, about to undergo nuclear fusion and become part of a new sun. Or maybe it's locked into a water molecule in a protoplanetary disk, destined to become part of an ocean on a new world. Every particle here has a story. You spot regions where the dust is particularly thick. These are dark nebulae, seen in silhouette against the brighter emission behind them. They are colder, denser areas. The very nurseries where the youngest protostars are still hidden, shrouded from view in visible light. Only infrared telescopes can pierce these dusty veils. It's a reminder that what you see is only part of the story. There are layers upon layers of activity. The scale is still hard to grasp. If your vessel were the size of a bacterium, the Orion Nebula would be larger than the entire Earth. You are a tiny speck in a vast, luminous ocean. Yet, from this vantage point, you can appreciate its intricate structure, its delicate beauty. Consider the trapezium stars again. They are the engine of this whole spectacle. Without their fierce light and powerful winds, the nebula would be a cold, dark cloud of gas and dust, invisible to the eye. They are the sculptors, the awakeners, but they are also consuming their fuel at a prodigious rate. In a few million years, they will exhaust their hydrogen and evolve, perhaps even exploding as supernovae, further enriching the nebula with heavier elements. The cycle continues. You notice the fine, thread-like structures, almost like cosmic cobwebs. These are likely shaped by magnetic fields, another invisible force at play, guiding the flow of ionized gas. It's a complex interplay of gravity, radiation, stellar winds, and magnetism, all conspiring to create this breathtaking scene. There's a gentle turbulence here, a slow churning of the gas. You're not being buffeted, but you can sense the movement, the constant reshaping of the cloud. It's like watching a cloud formation on Earth, but on a scale of light years and unfolding over millennia. You're seeing a snapshot of an ongoing cosmic weather system. You think about the astronomers back on Earth, who have studied this nebula for centuries, first as a fuzzy star, then through increasingly powerful telescopes. They've mapped its chemistry, charted the motions of its stars, and theorized about its evolution, how they would marvel at this direct, immersive view. You carry their legacy of curiosity with you. The light from the trapezium is so intense that it creates shadows, even in space. Denser clumps of gas cast long, dark fingers into the brighter regions. These shadows add depth and drama to the scene. It's a three-dimensional masterpiece, constantly shifting and evolving. You could spend a lifetime exploring just this one nebula and still not uncover all its secrets. Every fold of gas, every newly formed star, every protoplanetary disk holds clues to the universe's workings. It's a laboratory and an art gallery combined. The dominant red glow from hydrogen alpha emission is particularly striking. It's the color of creation in many ways, the signature of vast clouds of gas being lit up by young stars. It's a warm, inviting glow, despite the immense energies involved. You reflect on the name, Orion, the hunter, a powerful figure from mythology. And this nebula, hanging from his belt like a jeweled sword, is indeed a place of power. The power of creation, the power of young stars shaping their environment. It's a fitting association. As you prepare to eventually move on, you take one last, long look. The intricate dance of light and shadow, the vibrant colors, the sheer, overwhelming scale. The knowledge that within this luminous fog, countless future suns and worlds are taking their first tentative steps. It's a place of profound beauty and deep significance. A reminder that the universe is not static, but constantly renewing itself. The Orion Nebula is a testament to that eternal cycle, a celestial masterpiece burning brightly in the velvet darkness. You feel a sense of peace, of connection to this vast, creative cosmos. The journey was worth it, every single light year. Your gaze drifts from the Orion Nebula's dazzling heart. The hunter's sword sheath, so full of fiery creation, begins to recede. You feel a desire for something different. A quieter spectacle perhaps. A study in contrasts. You adjust your imaginary vessel's course, nudging it gently. You're still within the vast Orion molecular cloud complex. This sprawling stellar nursery stretches for hundreds of light years. It holds many wonders, not all of them blazing with light. A faint, familiar whisper of a shape begins to coalesce in the distance. It's subtle at first, a smudge against a softly glowing river of crimson. You squint, focusing your attention. Is that? It can't be. But the form becomes clearer, more defined as you draw nearer. There's no mistaking it. The universe, it seems, has a flair for the dramatic, and a rather specific sense of artistry. Before you hangs the Horsehead Nebula, Barnard 33, for those who prefer cosmic catalog numbers. But Horsehead captures its essence perfectly. It's an icon of the night sky. A silhouette so famous, so instantly recognizable, it feels like meeting an old friend. Yet, seeing it here, suspended in the void, is an entirely new experience. No photograph, no matter how stunning, prepares you for this. The scale is immense. This dark night of the cosmos isn't a small celestial chess piece. It's a colossal pillar of gas and dust. It rears up, a majestic equine profile against a backdrop of softly glowing hydrogen. You trace its outline, the delicate curve of the snout, the flowing sweep of the mane, the sturdy column of the neck. It's undeniably a horse's head, a cosmic sculpture carved from shadow. You drift closer, your senses attuned to this silent giant. The darkness of the horsehead is profound. It's not an absence of something, a hole punched in the fabric of space, quite the opposite. This is a presence, a dense, cold cloud. It's a dark nebula, a thick curtain of interstellar dust and molecular gas, mostly hydrogen, the universe's favorite building block. But it's the dust that does the trick. Tiny grains, smaller than particles of smoke. Some are like soot, rich in carbon. Others are more like fine sand, made of silicates. These microscopic specks are incredibly effective at absorbing and scattering visible light from stars behind and within the cloud. They act like a cosmic fog bank, a beautiful light-eating shroud. Imagine the thickest, darkest smoke you've ever seen. Now imagine it on a scale of light years. That's the Horsehead. This cloud is incredibly cold, just a few degrees above absolute zero. In such frigid conditions, atoms bind together to form molecules. This is where molecular hydrogen, H2, thrives. It's the raw material for future stars, but for now, it contributes to the nebula's opacity, its deep, impenetrable shadow. The silence here feels different from the vibrant hum of the Orion Nebula. That was a nursery alive with the cries of newborn stars. This is more like a quiet, dark forest, a place of hidden potential, of secrets held close. You feel a sense of stillness, of ancient slumber. Yet, the Horsehead doesn't float in a void of utter blackness. Its dramatic silhouette is only visible because of what lies behind it. Your gaze shifts to the luminous backdrop, a breathtaking expanse of rosy, blushing light. This is the emission nebula IC 434. It's a vast cloud of hydrogen gas, set aglow by the fierce radiation of nearby hot young stars. The primary artist responsible for this celestial canvas is a star system called Sigma Orionis. It's a multiple star system, dominated by a very hot, very bright O-type star. You can't see Sigma Orionis directly from this vantage point, as it's off to the top of the Horsehead, beyond the pillar's reach. But its influence is undeniable. Its powerful ultraviolet light streams outwards, striking the hydrogen atoms in IC 434. This energetic light strips electrons from the hydrogen atoms, a process called ionization. When these electrons recombine with the protons, they release energy, and a significant portion of that energy is emitted as a specific wavelength of red light, known to astronomers as hydrogen alpha or H-alpha. It's this characteristic crimson glow that paints the background. It makes IC 434 shine like a cosmic ruby river. And against this radiant river, the Horsehead stands proud, a dark monument. The contrast is stunning. The deep, velvety black of the Horsehead, the soft, ethereal red of IC 434. It's a masterpiece of cosmic light and shadow. One cannot exist, visually, without the other. The Horsehead needs IC 434 to be seen. IC 434 gains its most famous feature from the Horsehead's interruption. You wonder what it would be like inside that dark pillar. Cold, certainly, and incredibly dark to visible light. Starlight from distant galaxies would be completely blocked. you'd be enveloped in a cocoon of dust and gas. It's in places like this, shielded from harsh stellar radiation, that new stars can begin to form. The dust not only blocks light, but also helps cool the gas, allowing gravity to take hold. Are there baby stars forming within the Horsehead right now? For a long time, astronomers thought it might be too stable, too robust. But with the power of infrared telescopes, we can peer through the dust. Infrared light, with its longer wavelengths, can penetrate these dusty veils. And indeed, faint glimmers of young stellar objects have been detected, tiny embers glowing within the dark. Protostars, still swaddled in their dusty cocoons. They are the Horsehead's hidden children. The pillar itself is not static, it's a dynamic structure. The same energetic light from Sigma Orionis that illuminates IC 434 is also slowly destroying the Horsehead. It's a process called photoevaporation. Think of it as cosmic sandblasting. The intense radiation heats the surface of the dust pillar. This causes gas and dust to boil off, to stream away into space. The Horsehead is, quite literally, eroding. It's a slow process by human standards, but on cosmic timescales, it's relentless. The delicate tendrils of its mane, the sharp edge of its snout, these features are constantly being sculpted, reshaped by the stellar winds and radiation from its powerful neighbor. Millions of years from now, the Horsehead Nebula as we know it will likely be gone, evaporated. Its material dispersed, perhaps to form new stars elsewhere, or perhaps the stars forming within it will emerge, their dusty blankets stripped away. This thought adds a layer of poignant beauty to the scene. You are witnessing a transient celestial wonder, a fleeting moment in the universe's grand unfolding drama. Its current form, so iconic, so perfect, is temporary, like a magnificent sandcastle on the cosmic shore, awaiting the inevitable tide. You take a moment to appreciate the sheer artistry. The universe doesn't need to create shapes that resonate with human experience. It doesn't need to paint with such vibrant colors. Yet, it does. Or perhaps, it's our human minds, evolved to find patterns that see a horse where there is only dust and gas. But does that make it any less real? Any less beautiful? You think not. The connection is part of the wonder. The Horsehead is about 5 light years tall. A light year is nearly 6 trillion miles. So, this dark structure is unimaginably vast. Yet, from your vantage point, it has a certain grace, a contained elegance. It feels less overwhelming than the sprawling Orion Nebula, more focused, a singular statement. You notice fainter stars, like scattered diamonds, peeking through the thinner wisps of IC 434. Some even seem to sit just at the edge of the Horsehead's shadow, tiny pinpricks of blue or white light. They provide a sense of depth, of the layers involved in this cosmic diorama. There's a profound quietude here, a sense of ancient forces at play. The slow dance of gravity, gathering dust and gas, the fierce power of starlight, shaping and sculpting, the patient emergence of new suns from the cold darkness. The Horsehead embodies all of this. It's a testament to the ongoing cycle of creation and destruction in the cosmos. It's a different kind of beauty than the fiery spectacle of star birth in the Orion Nebula. That was a shout. This is a whisper, a subtle interplay of form and emptiness, of light absorbed and light emitted. It speaks to a different part of your soul, the part that appreciates shadows as much as light, the part that finds beauty in stillness, in the unlit corners of the universe. You consider the journey of a single dust grain within that pillar, formed in the atmosphere of a dying star, long ago, ejected into space, traveled for eons, became part of this vast cloud. Now, it helps to shield a nascent protostar, or perhaps it's on the very edge, about to be liberated by Sigma Orionis' fierce light. Every particle has a story. The Horsehead Nebula. It's more than just a pretty picture. It's a laboratory for understanding how stars are born in challenging environments. It's a reminder of the constant interplay between matter and energy. It's a symbol of the universe's capacity for creating beauty in the most unexpected forms and in the most unexpected places. A dark silhouette, standing defiant against a sea of light. A cosmic paradox. A quiet marvel. You feel a sense of gratitude for being able to witness this, to understand, even a little, what it is you're seeing. The science doesn't diminish the wonder, it enhances it. Knowing that this isn't a painting, but a real place, governed by physical laws, makes it all the more astounding. The universe is truly a master artist, and its medium is the very fabric of existence. As you prepare to eventually move on from this iconic landmark, you commit its shape to memory. The proud head, the flowing mane, the deep, absorbing darkness, the brilliant crimson backdrop. It's a scene that will stay with you, a reminder that even in shadow, there is profound beauty and significance. The Horsehead Nebula. And so, your journey through the star-dusted tapestries of the cosmos begins to soften, to slow. The vibrant, swirling colors of the nebulae, those celestial clouds you've explored with such keen curiosity, start to recede, not in sheer distance, but in the intensity of their immediate call upon your attention. Your vessel of imagination, the one that has soared past colossal pillars of creation and danced with the ethereal ghosts of dying stars, now seeks a gentle, quiet harbor. The distant hum of galaxies, the whisper of cosmic winds, fades into a profound stillness, a lullaby sung by the universe itself, just for you. You carry with you, nestled in the quiet corners of your mind, the memory of their myriad forms. Remember the bright, bustling nurseries like the Great Orion Nebula, a stellar metropolis buzzing with the energy of infant stars, each one a tiny, fierce point of light blinking into existence, swaddled in glowing hydrogen pinks and passionate reds. You recall, too, the ghostly, almost heartbreaking beauty of planetary nebulae, the ring, the helix, the dumbbell, the final elegant exhalations of suns much like our own, their intricate, symmetrical patterns, like cosmic lace, unfurled against the black velvet of space. And the remnants of supernovae, those spectacular, cataclysmic explosions that mark a massive star's demise, now hang in your mind's eye as delicate, expanding shells of iridescent gas, testaments to both unimaginable power and the enduring promise of new beginnings, their enriched dust ready to seed future stars, future planets, future wonders. The boundless expanse you just traversed, a canvas stretching for light years in every direction, now gives way, gently, to the familiar comfort of your own personal space. The darkness beyond your eyelids, which moments ago was filled with the light of a billion suns filtered through cosmic dust, now holds the softer, closer, more intimate darkness of your room. Listen closely. Can you hear it? The quiet, rhythmic breath of the house around you, the gentle rustle of your blankets as you settle, the muffled sounds of a world winding down outside your window. This, too, is a kind of nebula, a personal, sheltered space filled with the unseen potential for dreams, for profound rest, for quiet contemplation. Think of those vast, dark molecular clouds you saw, those cold, dense, almost invisible regions where countless stars are patiently waiting to be born. They are like the deepest, most restorative phase of your sleep, a profound quietude from which new energy, new thoughts, new perspectives will eventually awaken with the morning light. The tiny dust grains within them, coated in shimmering ice, are like infinitesimal seeds of potential, much like the sleepy thoughts and fleeting images that are beginning to coalesce in your mind right now, ready to bloom into the unique landscape of your dreams. And the colors you witnessed, oh, the unforgettable colors. The fiery reds and soft rose pinks of excited hydrogen, the cool, serene blues and mystical greens of oxygen, the subtle golden ochres of cosmic dust warmed by starlight. As you drift further towards sleep, These cosmic pigments might just seep into your own dreamscapes, tinting them with otherworldly beauty. Perhaps you'll find yourself walking through a garden where the flowers glow with the soft light of ionized gas, or sailing on a silent sea whose waves shimmer with the impossible hues of the Carina Nebula. Your mind, in the sanctuary of sleep, becomes its own artist, its own nebula, using the palette of the universe to paint its nightly masterpieces. The slow, patient dance of gravity within a nebula, coaxing individual particles of dust and gas together over millions, even billions, of years, mirrors the gentle, restorative work your body undertakes as you sleep. Cells diligently repair themselves, memories are sorted and consolidated like precious cosmic data, and energy is replenished for the day to come. It's a quiet, internal process, as vital and as wondrous in its own way as the birth of a star. You are, in this very moment of approaching slumber, a universe unto yourself, undergoing your own gentle, necessary, and beautiful transformations. And isn't it a truly profound thought, as you lie here, on the very cusp of dreams, that you are fundamentally, inextricably connected to those distant, shimmering clouds of creation? The very atoms that make up your being, the calcium that strengthens your bones and teeth, the iron that carries life-giving oxygen through your veins, the carbon that forms the intricate, miraculous blueprint of your life. These elements were forged in the incandescent hearts of ancient stars. Stars that were themselves born from the embrace of nebulae, lived their brilliant, fiery lives, and then, in their final, spectacular moments, scattered these precious, life-giving ingredients across the vastness of the cosmos. Some of that stardust, after eons of drifting through the interstellar void, became part of our solar system, part of our Earth, and eventually, wonderfully, part of you. So, as you breathe in and out, slowly and deeply feel the gentle rhythm, know that you are breathing air on a planet made of stardust, and you yourself are a child of the stars, a living, breathing collection of ancient cosmic material. That connection is unbreakable, woven into the very fabric of your existence, into every cell, every thought, every dream. The universe isn't just out there, vast and remote. It's in here, within you, within every gentle rise and fall of your chest, every soft beat of your heart. There's a deep, abiding peace in understanding this connection. The universe, for all its unimaginable vastness and sometimes violent processes, operates on profound cycles of creation, existence, and renewal. Nebulae are glorious testaments to this eternal rhythm. They are places of becoming, and so your journey through these celestial tapestries, these luminous clouds of dust and gas, begins to soften, to gently recede like the tide of a vast, starlit ocean. The vibrant hues you witnessed, the incandescent reds of hydrogen set ablaze by newborn stars, the cool, ethereal blues of light scattered by interstellar dust, the stark, intriguing silhouettes of dark nebulae hiding their secrets, they now swirl as cherished memories in the quiet expanse of your mind. You've drifted through the grand workshops of the cosmos, haven't you? You've peered into the heart of the Orion Nebula, where infant suns ignite with fierce, youthful energy, their radiation carving out luminous caverns in the surrounding gas. You've admired the delicate, ghostly veils of the Pleiades, where starlight, like a cosmic artist's brush, illuminates clouds of fine dust, creating a scene of serene, reflective beauty. You've traced the iconic outline of the Horsehead Nebula, a stark pillar of darkness against a backdrop of glowing crimson, a monument sculpted by stellar winds and radiation. Remember the breathtaking architecture of the Carina Nebula, with its towering pillars of gas and dust, cosmic mountains where stars are not just born, but seem to erupt into existence, painting the void with their fierce light, and the poignant beauty of planetary nebulae, like the Ring Nebula or the Helix, those final, glorious exhalations of dying stars, their intricate shells expanding outwards, seeding the galaxy with heavier elements. a legacy of a life well lived, a promise of future creation. You even glimpsed the energetic, chaotic beauty of supernova remnants, like the Crab Nebula, the aftermath of a stellar explosion, its tendrils still expanding, a testament to the universe's power and its capacity for renewal, even in destruction. These sights, these cosmic wonders, are no longer just distant images in a telescope. They are impressions left upon your imagination, colors and forms that now reside within you. You've traveled light years tonight, not with a ship of metal and fire, but on the wings of curiosity, carried by the gentle current of wonder. And as your vessel of thought slows, as the hum of exploration fades to a soft whisper, you can feel the immensity of it all, the sheer breathtaking scale of these stellar nurseries and graveyards. Think of the eons it takes for a nebula to coalesce, for gravity to patiently gather those sparse atoms of hydrogen and helium, coaxing them closer, denser, hotter, until the spark of fusion ignites and a new star blinks into existence. Imagine the silent, slow dance of dust grains, each a tiny speck, yet collectively capable of obscuring the light of countless stars or reflecting it in ghostly blues. You've witnessed a universe in constant, unhurried motion, a place of perpetual becoming. And in this vastness, you are not separate. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen that fills your lungs with every gentle breath, these elements were forged in the hearts of stars long ago, stars that perhaps ended their lives in spectacular supernova explosions, scattering their enriched contents across the galaxy. Those scattered atoms, adrift for millennia, eventually found their way into new clouds of gas and dust, new nebulae, some of which formed our own sun, our Earth, and ultimately, you. You are, in the most literal sense, stardust. You carry the legacy of nebulae within your very being. The universe is not just out there, beyond the farthest star. It is also within you, in every cell, every atom. So now, let the gentle pull of sleep be like the gravity that gathers cosmic dust. Feel the day's thoughts, like distant stars, begin to dim their light, becoming softer, more diffuse. The vibrant colors of the nebulae you explored are now like watercolor washes, blending and softening at the edges, creating a peaceful, abstract dreamscape. The sharp details fade, leaving only the impression of warmth, of light, of immense gentle beauty. The silence of space, once perhaps a daunting concept, now feels like a comforting blanket. It's a silence filled, not with emptiness, but with potential, with the quiet hum of creation, with the distant, almost imperceptible music of the spheres. Imagine the cosmic dust motes, the very building blocks you saw swirling in those vast clouds, now settling around you, a soft, invisible blanket of peace. Let your breath be like the slow, rhythmic pulse of a nebula, expanding and contracting, a gentle tide within you. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, any stray thoughts, letting them drift away like wisps of gas into the interstellar medium. With each inhale, draw in the quiet, the calm, the deep sense of connection to this immense, beautiful universe that has shared its secrets with you. The stars you visited are still out there, of course, shining and swirling, birthing new suns, crafting new worlds. They will continue their cosmic ballet long after this night has passed, and long after we are gone. But tonight, you have touched their story, and they have touched yours. You've seen where stars begin, and where they return their essence to the void, ready for the next cycle of creation. Feel yourself drifting now, not through the cold vacuum of space, but through a warm, comforting darkness, like being nestled deep within a gentle, protective cloud. The great nebulae, those luminous beacons in the cosmic night, are now distant, soft glows on the horizon of your awareness. Their energy, once so vibrant, now translates into a profound sense of peace, a quiet knowing that you are part of something magnificent, something eternal. The journey of exploration is complete for now. The ship of your imagination has found a quiet harbor. There are no more sights to see, no more facts to learn, only the gentle embrace of rest. Let the vastness you've witnessed cradle you. Let the starlight you've admired illuminate your dreams, and let the quiet majesty of the nebulae lull you into a deep and peaceful sleep. You are a child of the cosmos, and tonight, the universe itself is singing you a gentle, silent lullaby. Drift now, little explorer. Drift into the soft, welcoming night. The stars will keep their watch. And so, your journey through the stellar nurseries and celestial graveyards, the glowing tapestries and shadowy veils of the cosmos, begins to draw to a gentle, peaceful close. Your imaginary starship, which has carried you so faithfully across light years and through clouds of unimaginable beauty, now slows its ethereal engines. The hum that resonated deep within your chest, the thrum of cosmic exploration, softens to a mere whisper, a sigh as faint as the last breath of a dying star before it gifts its essence back to the void. You feel a sense of profound stillness settling around you, a quietude that mirrors the vast, silent expanses between the nebulae you've witnessed. The vibrant colors, the passionate reds of hydrogen, the cool, reflective blues of scattered starlight, the mysterious greens of oxygen, the ghostly whites of planetary nebulae. They begin to soften in your mind's eye, not fading entirely, but mellowing, like a sunset giving way to the gentle embrace of twilight. Remember the Orion Nebula? That vast stellar nursery? Picture its luminous heart one last time. See the trapezium stars, those brilliant young giants blazing away, their light carving out intricate patterns in the surrounding gas. Feel the warmth, the sheer energetic pulse of creation that emanates from that region. It's a place of becoming, of new beginnings, and even as you drift towards sleep, a part of that generative energy settles within you, a quiet promise of renewal. The dust lanes you saw, those dark rivers winding through the glowing gas, are not just empty spaces, but reservoirs of future stars, future worlds, perhaps even future dreamers like yourself, looking up at their own night skies. Let the sheer scale of it, the ongoing, relentless process of birth, soothe you. There is no rush, no hurry in these cosmic cradles. Everything unfolds in its own perfect, unhurried time, just as your own journey into sleep will unfold naturally and peacefully. And then, let your thoughts drift to the Pleiades, the seven sisters, veiled in their delicate shroud of reflection nebula. Recall the cool, ethereal blue of that light, starlight scattered by countless tiny dust grains, like moonlight on a misty evening. It's a different kind of beauty, more subtle, more serene. It speaks of quiet contemplation, of ancient starlight on a long journey, finally illuminating the dust that will, one day, perhaps coalesce into something new. Feel that coolness, that gentle shimmer, like a soft blanket being drawn over you. The stars themselves, young and vibrant, are like distant, twinkling beacons in a calm, celestial sea. Their light is not the fierce fire of creation you saw in Orion, but a more settled, peaceful glow, a guiding light for your own descent into dreams. Think, too, of the dark nebulae, those enigmatic silhouettes against the star-filled backdrop. The Horsehead Nebula, so iconic, its shape carved by the harsh radiation of nearby stars, yet appearing so solid, so present. The Coal Sack, a vast patch of darkness that ancient mariners used to navigate the southern seas. These are not voids, but places thick with dust and cold gas, the raw materials for future generations of stars, hidden from our view, gestating in the quiet dark. There's a comfort in that darkness, a sense of being held, of secrets kept safe. Just as the night outside your window enfolds the world in its embrace, these cosmic clouds enfold the seeds of future light. Allow yourself to feel that sense of being cocooned, protected by the gentle, star-dusted darkness. Your eyelids feel heavy, like those dense clouds, ready to shield your eyes from the light and let your inner world awaken. And what of the planetary nebulae, those exquisite, ghostly bubbles puffed out by dying stars? The Ring Nebula, a perfect celestial smoke ring, its colors, a testament to the elements forged within its parent star over billions of years. The Helix Nebula, the Eye of God, looking back at you with a serene, all-knowing gaze. The Cat's Eye Nebula, with its intricate, almost unbelievable concentric shells. These are not explosions of violence, but gentle exhalations, the star's final, beautiful sigh as it releases its outer layers into space. There's a profound peace in their symmetry, in their slow, graceful expansion. They are like cosmic flowers blooming in the garden of the void, their petals made of incandescent gas. They remind you that endings can be beautiful, that transformation is a natural part of the universe's grand cycle. The elements they disperse, the carbon, the oxygen, the nitrogen, will enrich the interstellar medium, becoming part of new stars, new planets, and perhaps, one day, new life. Feel any worries or concerns of the day gently detach and drift away, like those expanding shells of gas, leaving behind a core of peace, just as the white dwarf star remains at the heart of its nebula. Then there are the supernova remnants, like the Crab Nebula, the aftermath of a star's much more dramatic demise. Recall its tangled filaments, energized by the spinning pulsar at its heart. It's a scene of immense power, yes, but also of profound recycling. The heavier elements, the gold in your jewelry, the iron in your blood, were forged in the hearts of massive stars and scattered far and wide by such explosions. These events, though cataclysmic, are essential for the universe as we know it. They are the universe's way of tilling the cosmic soil, preparing it for new growth. There's a deep, underlying rhythm to it all. Birth, life, death, and renewal, played out on a scale that dwarfs our everyday concerns, and in that vastness, there is a strange and wonderful comfort. The energy of the Crab Nebula, though immense, is now a distant echo in your mind, its frantic dance slowing to a gentle sway, its light softening to a distant glimmer. You have journeyed far, not with your body, but with your mind, your imagination. You've peered into the heart of creation and witnessed the graceful art of stellar endings. You've seen how interconnected everything is, how the dust of ancient stars forms new suns, and how the light of those suns can travel for millennia to paint a reflection nebula with borrowed glory. You've seen how even the darkest patches of sky are not empty, but full of potential. And now, as you lie there, nestled in the comfort of your bed, feel the gentle pull of gravity, the same force that gathers cosmic dust into stars, that holds planets in their orbits, that keeps you safe and secure. It's a universal embrace, connecting you to everything you've witnessed tonight. The air you breathe contains atoms that were once part of these very nebulae. The water in your body, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, all forged in the hearts of stars, long ago and far away, and then scattered through nebulae to eventually form our solar system, our planet, and you. You are, in the most literal sense, stardust, child of the cosmos. And as a child of the cosmos, you are inherently part of this grand, beautiful, ever-changing universe. Let that thought sink deep into your consciousness, a soothing balm. You are not separate from the wonders you've explored. You are an extension of them. The same laws of physics that shape the nebulae govern your own being. The same creative energy that sparks new stars flickers within your own capacity for dreams and imagination. The journey outwards into the cosmos now gently turns inwards. The vastness of space you explored is mirrored by the vastness of your own inner world, the landscape of your mind, where thoughts and dreams can roam as freely as any starship. As your breathing deepens, slow and regular, like the gentle expansion and contraction of a cosmic cloud, feel your muscles relaxing, your mind letting go of the day. Each breath out is like a planetary nebula, releasing any tension, any lingering thoughts into the quiet space around you. Each breath in draws in peace, stillness, the quietude of interstellar space. The darkness behind your closed eyelids is no longer just an absence of light. It's your own personal dark nebula, a place of rest and potential, where dreams can begin to coalesce like fledgling stars. Let the images of the nebulae you've seen tonight drift and mingle there. Perhaps the vibrant colors of Orion will blend with the serene blues,